Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Maury County News. I told you yesterday that the political speaking now out at the Fair Barn on the 27th of this month will start at 6:30. There was a little discrepancy as to when the folks with the fly problem out south of town was going to have their meeting out there. So I called the chairperson of that group, and she tells me that the meeting has been set now for 6 p.m. at the Fair Barn. This will be the committee that was appointed the last meeting to help look into the matter of the fly problem out south of town. So that has been set now. It will be July the 27th at 6 p.m. at the Fair Barn. Any interested party is more than welcome to attend that meeting. And then immediately after that, the political speaking meeting will start at 6:30. Well, yesterday afternoon, we did go out at Walmart, and there's Ron Lucero give Ron Armitage, the director of the Economic Development Task Force here, a check for $1,500. That is a partial payment of $4,500 that will be coming over the next 3 years that Walmart will be given. Walmart said they are proud to make this contribution to help improve the economy right here in Maury County, and also by creating more jobs. So we do thank Ron Lucero with Walmart and also the Walmart Corporation for that check of $1,500. And like I say, that is part of a pledge that will be $4,500 over a 3-year period. Well, we also got to talk with Bob Carker. Bob is the new superintendent of schools in Davis. He did attend the workshop in Oklahoma City Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So we asked him to come over and talk to us about that, plus several other items over the Davis school system. Got him on tape, and we'll show you that right after this commercial message.
For just about anything you need, stop by Bill & Lloyd's at the corner of West 2nd and Broadway. Lloyd sharpens just about anything and repairs items you thought couldn't be fixed. The best lawnmower shop is right here with new and used tillers, lawnmowers, and chainsaws. You'll also find appliances like TVs, freezers, refrigerators, washers, and dryers. We're sure to help on household repairs with many hardware and household items. Next time you could use a little help in whatever it is you're doing, stop by Bill & Lloyd's for the best in service.
Count on Showtime this summer for blockbuster entertainment with 53 wild and crazy parents, 101 dynamic duos, 31 smooches from pooches, 74 classic tunes, and 1,341 punchlines. Exclusive movies like Parenthood, When Harry Met Sally, Turner and Hooch, plus the blockbuster hit Who Framed Roger Rabbit, comedy, family, boxing, music, and plenty of basic ingredients. For countless hours of exclusive entertainment, order Showtime today.
Of Thunder come the Thunder Racers from Hardee's. Only 99 cents each with any purchase. Collect all 4. And collect Days of Thunder cups with any 32-ounce drink. They're available for a limited time only at Hardee's. Now you can win a Chevy Lumina in the Hardee's Days of Thunder sweepstakes. Your choice of a coupe, sedan, or van. Stop in at a Hardee's near you and enter today.
Folks, that little commercial there, that Hardee's, now we do have these little cars right here in our own Hardee's. If Neil can zero in on that, this is actual one of them, and they do cost 99 cents at Hardee's, and there is 4 of these, and you can get one or all of them at Hardee's right here in Sulphur. Just go by and tell Keith that you saw them on Channel 7 and you'd like to have them. In fact, Neil and I was out there the other day, and someone has made larger ones of them, a little bit bigger than the ones that you can get out there, but these are on sale now, right now, at Hardee's right here in downtown Sulphur, 99 cents each. Folks, we did ask Bob to come over and visit with us. He's talked to us here a while back and was telling us about the carryover that they try to do each year from one school year to the next to get them through the summer months. We asked him to explain that, plus we also asked him to explain the friendly suit that they're having to do over at Davis this year. He explained both of them, so let's watch that now. Yeah. Bob, let me welcome you to Channel 7 now.
Thank you.
I'll come over to see you. Now you're right in the studio. What do you think?
The visit. Hey,
what do you think of this little operation?
It's great. Great. I don't know how you do without it.
Well, we don't do it without Neil.
Is that right?
He's the guy that makes it go.
Right.
Well, I've had a real nice visit with you over at Davis, just when y'all were getting settled. Now that you got your feet on the ground, how and your wife liking it over around Davis?
We love it. The people have just been so receptive, and we've enjoyed our stay. We've been there 6 or 8 weeks, and we've enjoyed every minute of it. They have a big reception for us.
Good.
And, we had a lot of people turn out, a lot of towns, not only teachers and school people, but people from downtown. And they've just gone overboard to make us feel welcome.
Yep.
So we really appreciate the Davis community and the people of Davis.
Great city and a great school
It certainly
system.
is. We're looking
And
forward to being
you
here.
can see the civics folks are behind you.
Right,
there, the
right. We're
populace
the
is.
Kiwanis Club, the Chamber of Commerce, and all the organizations are very, very supportive of schools, and we're very appreciative of that.
Is your wife going to work, Bob?
Well, she's not employed right now. She's got her application in several schools
Good.
around, and hopefully
Well,
she'll
great.
be employed in the next few weeks, maybe.
Yeah.
Hope so.
She'll probably have some good luck in that field.
Hope so.
Well, I thought we could visit just a little bit. I know you and Lloyd and a bunch of the superintendents went to the 3-day workshop up in Oklahoma City.
That's right.
I got to visit with Lloyd, and 1017 stole the show,
Right.
naturally. Can you give us any insights you might have? Is 1017 going to help Davis school system eventually, or how's it going to work?
There's a lot of reforms, BJ, in 1017. 1017 is a good bill. There's a lot of things that are going to come out of it that are eventually going to really be good for the kids in school, and that's the main purpose of schools, to serve the kids in your community. The reduced class size, the curriculum changes and things like that are excellent and things that need to be done. And 1017 alludes to that, as well as other areas like consolidation and administrative cost and budgets and things like that. And overall, the bill's a good bill. The additional money that we'll get from 1017 is to be used for the purpose of implementing these reforms and these things in 1017. Only time will tell.
Yeah.
How
Bob,
it's gonna work out.
would it have been better, though, if we would maybe eased into 1017 a little bit easier, like maybe all these mandated things, give y'all a little bit more time to implement them?
It's possible it would have. The big thing, BJ, your big expense in school business, as you well know, are your salaries, your personnel, and your buildings. And if you have to reduce class size, which is good, and I'm all for that, because I think the smaller number, I think the teachers are better able to serve kids.
Sure, yeah.
So it's great to have a small class size. However, a lot of schools are faced with the fact that they don't have a space, a building space available, and you don't just throw up a building for $100 anymore. It takes a little money to build a classroom. And there's not really any money provided for that in 1017. As far as salaries, there's some additional money for increases in salaries and things like that over a 5-year period, which is good too. Teachers are underpaid, always have been.
Well, now let me ask you a question on that. It's not clear in my mind, Bob.
Okay.
The state superintendent said that salaries would be raised. The minimum salary would be raised to $1,700, I think.
17,000.
I mean 17,000.
Right, that's correct.
And then by 1994 it'd be
24,000.
24. Now that's the minimum.
Right.
Do you, as a superintendent in Davis, Oklahoma, have to do that? Will that be?
That's the minimum you have to pay. Yes.
And then if you want to go over that, you can.
That's correct.
But you've got to go at the mandated price that they
The
set.
minimum is the lowest price you can
Okay.
pay.
Okay.
And all schools are going to be required. A lot of schools in the state are just paying basic minimum, which is only a little over $15,000 a year,
Okay.
which is almost a poverty level for some.
So they're raising that
They're
automatically
raising it
to
almost
17.
to $1,900.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they're raising.
Yeah. Okay. 1900.
And it's just straight across the board. And
So you can't pay less than that.
No.
But you can pay more.
can pay more.
Okay. That wasn't clear. I know they kept throwing those figures around, but they never did say this is absolute minimum. And I
yeah,
didn't.
this is the minimum that you can pay, and schools have been faced with the minimum for years, and some of them can only pay the minimum. When a school is able to, it's better to pay above the minimum because you usually attract more quality teachers if you can pay a little bit more. And the schools that are able to provide a little bit more money for teachers normally can get a little bit better quality.
Well, now will this do anything? 1017. Does it address the building fund? Will you be getting more money?
No, not at this time. There's been talk about having additional money for building fund, but right now The building fund, of course, comes from your 5 mil levy that has to be passed each year. And there was an issue up to 3 state issues, questions that got voted down, which would have made the building fund plus the general fund 35 mil not optional to be voted on each year. It would be mandatory each year because
Like the legislation
schools cannot operate without the additional millage. There's just no way.
Well, it doesn't really look real to me, Bob. They do want you to have smaller class sizes with teacher-student ratio, which is going to mean you need more space, but they didn't give you any money to build just more.
That's true. A lot of schools are, some schools are fortunate enough to have some money provided or have their building fund built up, and of course then you can go the bond issue route, and that's one way that schools are getting around that.
Yeah.
And you can, if your community is willing to pass a bond issue, then you can build additional classrooms through the sinking fund.
Yeah.
Bond.
Okay. That might be a way a lot of them got to
that's
go.
the way a lot of them will have to go. The class size will get smaller each year. Now it goes down now on a graduated scale. It starts out this year with kindergarten. I think 24 students is the maximum you allow. That's average daily membership. Then in first and second and third grade, you can have up to 21 kids. And then in the fourth, fifth, and sixth, I think it goes back to 23. So, and then each year it gets smaller and smaller till all grades from sixth grade on down get down to, I think, 20 is a minimum, and that's over a 5 or 6 year period.
That's still a lot of youngsters for one
Yes,
teacher.
it is. Yes, it is.
Especially at that age group.
Right, but teachers, a lot of teachers used to having here.
Folks, we had a visit with the Social Security people the other day. They've got a plan now to help you plan for your financial future. We got a little bit on that. We'll be bringing it to you right after this commercial message. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Maury County News. We've got the highest number of candidates running this year since 1970. They say 354 persons are seeking the legislative jobs this year, more than one half of the 692 total legislators we have. Some say that the 60% salary increase plus the controversy over House Bill 1017 are some of the reasons for such a large number of turnouts in candidates this year. Also, we're still getting blip from the Oklahoma Department of Transportation about the signs that's being put up on roadways and streets, and that is illegal. They ask that the candidates, tell their helpers to do not put their signs on the streets and on the utility easements within the towns and surrounding areas. Cables and poles and easements are also off limits. They said it is also unlawful, so you could be prosecuted if you're caught putting those on unauthorized places. Also, some of the candidates say that their signs are being stolen or just defaced. They say when they put up one of their opponent signs, they take down theirs. So if you can, talk to your helpers, or if you folks are helpers, kind of recognize that and don't put them where they're not authorized. We've seen quite a few right here in Maury County that is in unauthorized places. The only place that you really should be putting them is on private property, and get permission from the landowner before you do that. Now, we're getting ready to have our big political speaking coming up on the 27th. It's going to be at 6:30 at the Fair Barn, but we do have a couple of 3 things that's going to be tied right in with that. Bill Brewster's going to have his 27th wedding anniversary reception right after the speaking, and it's going to be there at the fairground. It'll be right south of the fairground, right next to the steer barn. He's going to have some cake and punch, and his wife will be there, and he's asked everybody to drop by after the speaking and help celebrate their 27th wedding anniversary. Senator Lieutenant Governor Robert S. Kerr III will be having a reception at the Silver Turtle. That will be at 5 p.m. before the speaking. So he asked everybody to drop by the Silver Turtle and visit with him. They will have some refreshments available there for you. And as you know, we do have the folks with the fly problem out south of town has scheduled their meeting prior to the political speaking. That will start at 6 p.m. at the Fair Barn on July the 27th. So all those things will be going on right before and right after the political speaking on Friday, July the 27th. And it will start at 6:30. We got Lori Williams come by today to update us on that and tell us how many candidates they've got coming in. We've got her on tape, and we'll show you that right after this commercial message.
In Davis.
Lori come by and said they do have 25 now, confirmed that they will be here for the political speaking. They've got 3 of the governor representatives will be here, and they've also got Bob Kerr and Bill Brewster are scheduled to be here. We talked to Lori about how the thing was going to be run. She explained it real well, so let's watch that now. Yeah. Lori, let me welcome you back to Channel 7.
Hi.
And we don't need to tell them what you're laughing about, do we?
No.
No, Neil is going to be a daddy, and we're proud of him.
Yeah.
Listen, y'all got quite a few people that you've got lined up for this political speaking. We've got 25 on this list. You think that's all, or you have some more that'll probably come on in?
I think we have some more that'll come in. A lot of them don't know whether or not they can come until the last minute, and a lot of them will probably show up that night.
Okay.
But we've been real pleased with what we've got.
How did you notify all the candidates? Did you
By letter.
By letter. So you just got a list of all the candidates and started writing letters then?
Right. We wrote letters to all the candidates that we knew of. I called the Republican headquarters in Oklahoma City. I also called the Democratic headquarters and got a current list from them as of, I believe it was the 16th, which was after the filing dates. I waited until that Monday until they could get all the lists, sent letters out to each candidate, and got responses from a lot of them.
Well, by looking at the names now, you've gone plumb up to the Congress race.
Right.
Okay, so we've got the state and the Congress race is what we're going to be concentrating on, right? County, state, and that one Congress. Right. Okay, now it starts at you tell me 6:30, isn't it, at the Fair Barn on the 27th?
Right.
How are you going to? Are they going to pick time slots out of a hat, or?
What they're going to do is start with U.S. Congress, governor, lieutenant governor, work their way.
Okay.
Whether you consider that up or down, as we were talking about earlier, which I consider up probably. And we're probably going to divide it about in half there, and then have a pie auction, kind of have a little break there, have a pie auction, let people go get something to drink, and then we'll start again, work into our county candidates, and within each office they'll be drawing numbers. And when they come in to check in with us, when they first show up, whoever shows up, say you're with the lieutenant governor or something like that, and there's 2 or 3 from lieutenant governor's offices that are supposed to come. Well, if you're the first one there, then you draw first, and whatever number you get.
Out of those, let's use the county commissioners for an example. We've got quite a few running for that. They will pick a number when they come in, and that's how they will speak. Number one.
Within their office.
Yeah, number 1, number 2, right on down.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And they will be given 5 minutes, and if they want additional time, they can have it, but it'll cost them a little bit more. Okay. Now, is this Democratic, Republic, anybody?
This is anybody that is running for a political office. If they're independent, Democratic, Republican, it doesn't matter. We'll let them all speak.
Do you know of any other county that's done this?
There are some others that are having political speakings, but I don't know how they're handling them. I've heard of one that was going to be in Purcell, but I'm not sure how they're handling it.
Okay. We're going to have this at the Fair Barn, and it is air-conditioned. How many people can
We're going to have fans, too.
Okay. How
circulate the air.
many people will be seated in there, you reckon? How many could we put in there?
I don't really know. We're going to be working on that tomorrow.
Okay.
Now, we're not going to have it inside the kitchen area.
Oh, you're not? Not
No,
in the...
we wouldn't have enough room.
Okay, where
So it's going to be
in
in the arena area. It'll be open air, but there'll be fans there to stir the air up. We've already got the big box fans.
Yeah, well, that's
so it'll
not
be- it'll
bad
be
back there
comfortable.
anyway. Yeah, it's get a good breeze through there.
It'll be comfortable.
This is free to the populace, isn't it?
Yes.
Will there be refreshments there for
Yes,
people
they
that
can
want
buy some refreshments there if they want.
Okay.
There'll be tea and lemonade and pop, and then again we'll be auctioning off pies too.
Okay, good.
So, pipe and cable.
Now, you know, you and I visited the other day. They do have another, one of the folks that having the fly problem out south of town is going to have their meeting there the same night.
Yeah, I
it's,
heard.
It's going
I
to be
heard
at
about
6
that.
o'clock, though. And they won't even be in your way anyway. They could be in the little, the room there where they have their meetings.
Probably so.
And, yeah, so
I've-
they wouldn't
I
be.
haven't talked to them. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I visited with them yesterday, and that's what they're going to do. So they won't even be in this thing.
Yeah, that's before this starts.
Yeah, won't be any trouble. Well, it sounds like and looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, and you've got a lot of people going to be there to speak. Now that we've got that over with, let's visit about our tourism meeting that we're going to have here Monday. Who all is going to be here for that one?
That is, it's a little confusing when you say this, but it's the Lakes and Countries Associations. Now we're in Lake Country, which is a 10-county area. Now Lake Country is a member of the Lakes and Countries Associations, which includes everyone in the state. And they have, I believe it's quarterly meetings. And they'll be having their meeting here, and it'll be at the Chickasaw Motor Inn. They'll be coming in Sunday night. And they'll be over there Monday morning, and they're going to be discussing tourism. And the reason I wanted to have it here is because we had discussed the uniform school year. And we've taken some steps to have a uniform school year here in Murray County. Davis starting this year, and Sulphur is supposed to be starting next year. And the state is really enthusiastic about that. They would like to see it on a statewide basis. And we have to start somewhere, so we started here, and we're hoping the ball will keep rolling and going through the state.
The meeting starts at 9 o'clock at the Chickasaw Motor Inn. Is the public invited to that?
As far as I know, yes, it's a public meeting.
About how many people do you know that'll be here? Just the association?
The Lake Association, there'll probably be about 35 to 40 people here, with some of the area residents, the chamber members from Davis and Sulphur as well. Lakes, they were telling me from the Lakes and Countries Association, normally it's about 35 or so. So I'm expecting, 35 to 40.
So you'll have plenty of room if people did want to come on over and listen.
Sure.
Is there any type of luncheon scheduled, or is it just going to be a catch can?
Yeah, I believe they're having a lunch on your own. You can make arrangements if you're in with the conference, but if you're, in public, they're just have lunch buffet.
Did they indicate how long it'll be, how long the meeting will be?
No, they really didn't. I'm sure it'll extend past lunch. Not too long past lunch, but probably mainly the morning. I'm sure we'll go a little into the afternoon, but not late. Probably two or so.
Well, now, Lloyd, I know they've invited everybody down, supposedly about 5 o'clock at the Arbuckle Wilderness for a tour and a hamburger cookout. Has anybody notified you as to the number of people that's going to be present for that? Folks, Neil and I did get to go out to the Lake of the Arbuckles this morning real early. This is one of the days that Roy Roundtree, our game ranger, does patrol the lake, so Neil and I asked him if we might ride along with him just a little bit this morning and let him explain to us exactly what he does. Roy was telling us about this about a year and a half ago, that he was going to go ahead and have the boat so he can patrol the lake with our park rangers. They also patrol with Roy. And his boat, he says, not the fastest thing in the country, but he says they just can't hardly outrun the radios. While we were there, we did check some of the fishermen. These two gentlemen was from Ardmore area. They were out bright and early this morning fishing the lake, the Arbuckles. They didn't catch too many, I think, at the time. There's the only one they've caught at the time we was there. But they did have their fishing license, and they are enjoying the lake as all of the folks are right now. Roy says there's not as many violators as there used to be, and there's not as much drinking and boating as there used to be. So it makes his job and the ranger's job a little bit easier. But we did get to visit with him about the boats and plus other things, so let's watch that now. You know, about a year and a half ago, I think you were telling me about that you were going to get a boat so you could patrol the Lake of the Arbuckles, and it's a reality now. You got it, and it's a real nice boat. This is not the one that you thought you was going to get, though, is it?
Not exactly, but this boat is made in Shakota by Thomas Marine, and it's called a Predator. It's 16 foot long, or actually 15 foot long, I should say, and got a 40 horse motor on it.
Evinrude on it.
Evinrude, and it's working out real well.
Well, did you actually request this, or was it the department that just wanted to give you the capability of getting out on the lake, or how did it come about?
The old boat that we had been bought new in 1965, and its useful life was over. And we'd bought a new motor for that boat, and found out that the motor was completely unsuitable for the boat, and I put in a formal requisition for a new boat, and it takes about a year to get those things through the process. And so we were approved in the fiscal year 90 budget, which was a year ago last July, and it was December before we actually saw a boat, and then I believe it was March before we actually saw it rigged out where I could put it on the water. But,
and then you still got to put your light on it and your siren before you really have it all decked out.
Right, I had to get that in fiscal year 91.
Okay.
So maybe by February next year I'll have that too.
Roy, explain to us just a little bit now. We got park rangers that also patrol the lake. They are authorized also to check fishermen for license, aren't they?
Yes, but the Federal Park Service and the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife Conservation has a concurrent jurisdiction agreement, and we work together on wildlife violations, fishing and hunting, and it allows us to use federal and state laws. It also allows us to overlap in our law enforcement purposes, and I have the opportunity to help the park rangers in their difficulties, and they can do the same for me, and it really just adds to the coverage and protection for the people.
How many rangers do you actually have that patrol the lake?
Right now, we have three.
Butch Hill and Trevor Smith, and Glenn Henry, is that?
Well, we do have some seasonals. We have two seasonals on the lake, and we also have Eric Rubin.
Okay, Eric's out here
So
too.
there are quite a bit of us. There's only one state ranger, that's myself.
Yep.
But, I guess we have 5 federal rangers.
Well, on busy weekends, though, you guys could have quite a bit of additional help out here then, couldn't you? Because this thing does have quite a few fishermen on it, doesn't
It has a tendency to fill up real fast.
Well, have you really caught any violators, any blatant violators since you've been patrolling this year, Roy?
Not really. The most major thing that we've done this year on the lake has just been length limit. We've had some trout line violations, lots of fishing license violations, but that's real normal. We just take care of that in due course.
What happens, how much fine is it if you catch a fisherman out here without a license and he doesn't have one? What's the fine for it?
Well, we have 2 ways to go on that. A couple of years ago, the Oklahoma legislature enacted a bill that would allow an individual that's found fishing without a license, and they had agreed that they are fishing without a license, and say, well, I don't need to go to court. I know I'm fishing without a license. I don't need to see a judge. They can purchase a temporary fishing license for $35 if they're a resident, or a temporary fishing license non-resident for $75. And nothing's filed in district court, and the money goes straight to the wildlife department. If they want to contest the citation, of course, they do have the right to appear, before a judge, and so we can go ahead and issue a normal citation, and we take a bond of $82 in the field for a resident, or $107 for a non-resident, and then we go ahead and set up a court appearance.
Okay. So if you catch an individual out here fishing and he says, yes, I know I'm fishing without a license, do you sell him that temporary license? How are you assured that he goes ahead and gets his temporary?
Oh, I do that myself.
Oh, you can sell it to him right here?
Yes.
Okay. Then that would be assured that he has his temporary license, and that's dropped. That's it then?
That's it. In that case, I'm a certified licensed dealer for the state of Oklahoma, and covered by surety bond, just like our other dealers.
Roy, we were talking earlier about some of the changes in the rules and regulations this year for hunting. What are some of the main ones? I know you mentioned the quail is going to be changed.
That's going to be a big change. Quail hunting statewide is going to be uniform dates starting on November the 20th instead of being split dates by I-35. And also another big change this year is we'll be hunting every day of the week, and which for quite a number of years we thought that would present no problem whatsoever to the quail population. That affected the way that the northwestern county pheasant hunt is run, and we're also opening the pheasant season up concurrently with the new quail season. You'll also be allowed to hunt the pheasant every day of the week.
Oh, that's great. That is a change, isn't it?
Some other good news. Last year, a lot of people were a little bit frustrated by having to buy a doe tag on the last day of deer gun season when they had an unfilled buck tag.
Yeah.
A lot of complaints there. We've gone back to the old method, and if you don't fill your buck tag during the regular 9-day season, on the last day, you go out and you see a doe, you can harvest that doe, put your buck tag on her, and check her in just like we've done in years past.
That's great.
That was a good
that'll make a
change.
lot of people happy, won't it?
That makes a lot of people happy.
Well, it looks like we're drifting into the shore, so we better round this up. But we do appreciate you and all your trouble you went through today to help us.
Thank you, Big
Thank you,
Jay.
Roy. Roy Roundtree, he is our game ranger right here in Murray County. We appreciate Roy taking time out to do a little blip with us this morning. Folks, we did have a little accident this morning right here in Sulphur. It happened at Highway 177 and 7 there, where it goes back to east through Oklahoma Street. In fact, the vehicle was coming from the east on Highway 7 or Oklahoma Street, preparing to turn south on 177, and as he did, the bed of the truck actually come off of the truck and turned over right in the Snack Shack East parking lot, dumping all the sand and gravel he had on board. As you can see, they had to get some pretty heavy equipment in. It looked like some of Ralph Dodson's equipment in to upright the truck, put the track back on, and then load the sand back up in the truck to get it on its way. No one was hurt, thank goodness. Well, folks, we do have a pretty good weather outlook coming up now. It's supposedly going to get a little bit warmer, and the chances of rain are going to diminish unless that front there, as you can see on the Chickasaw Telephone Company map, that big low right straight northwest of us up there, if that thing does get through Oklahoma, it could cause a little bit more rain. But at the present time now, they're predicting that's going to move east, and we're not going to be seeing anything out of it. We do have a trough of low pressure that's building over in the Panhandle, so that's going to whip our winds up pretty good out of the south when it continues to move on over a little bit further east. So it will be windy, but our chances of rain will diminish after tomorrow. It's looking right now, Saturday and Sunday and Monday is going to be just warmer and sunny. So tonight we're going to be partly cloudy and mild. It's going back down to around 70, south winds 5 to 10. We do have a 20% chance of the pop-up type showers again tonight. Friday, partly cloudy and a little warmer, 94, going down to about 73 Friday night, and we're still in the pattern of some pop-ups. And then by Saturday morning, our chances are going to diminish unless that front comes down. And like I say, right now, it doesn't look like it's going to make it. So we're going to be clearing off by Saturday afternoon. It's going to be a little bit warmer, going up to about 95, going down to 73 Saturday night, and the winds will continue out of the south. And then Sunday, we're going to be warmer, and it's going to be about 96, going down to about 74 Sunday night, and our south winds will be continuing. So that's what it looks right now. If we do get any update on that front that's up northwest of us right now, we'll try to bring that to you on a 12:30 newscast tomorrow. That's all the time we got for today, though. Channel 7 News and B.J. Fields, thanks for watching. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Murray County News. I had a call from the state office this morning. It looks like that we are going to get our shelters inspected next week. We've got an inspection team coming down that will be here Monday. In fact, they're surveying all of the shelters, the fallout shelters and the tornado shelters in the state of Oklahoma. Ours hasn't been updated since 1974, so they will be coming in, looking at all of our shelters, both snowstorm and fallout, and then they'll also be looking around the city for additional shelters. So we'll be looking forward to meeting those gentlemen on Monday morning. I'll try to get one of them to talk to us about some of the things they do look for. But they will be here on Monday morning, and he said they'll probably be in this area for about a week. Well, I got to visit with all three schools this morning, folks. Tom Kennedy with the Sulphur School System tells us that the teachers will go back to work on August the 14th, and then the school starts on August the 17th. I visited with Bob Kerr over at Davis. Bob tells us that the teachers will go to work over there on August the 27th, and then the school will start on September the 4th. Ron Little out at OSD tells us that the teachers will start there on August the 16th, and then the regular school will start on August the 20th. So it's like this now for the youngsters. Sulphur, August 17th. Davis, September the 4th. OSD, August the 20th. We will be bringing you quite a bit more on that. Ron said he would get us a list of the enrollment. We are going to be getting one from Mr. Richard McKee over at Davis, and we've also be getting one from Lloyd Snow, our Randall Cole here in Sulphur, and we'll be bringing you that now at a later date when your youngster should be enrolling. Folks, beginning on October the 1st, we're going to start a new program now. It's called Self-Governing Demonstration Project. 6 Indian tribes in the United States will be participating in this. They're going to get their federal funds directly to the tribe instead of going through the Bureau of Indian Affairs like it has been in the past. They said last year that $3.3 billion was given out to the Indian tribes here in the United States, and very little of that got down to the Indians that needed them. So they're going to start this new project with these 6 tribes this year. They say if it is successful, they will start this nationwide with all of the tribes. I'll give you an example of how much they will be getting this year. The Cherokee Nation will be getting $6.1 million on this new project to see if it's going to work. Well, the Davis Chamber of Commerce had their meeting yesterday over at Turner Falls Inn. They've made that into a beautiful place. They've added on quite a bit there. If you haven't been by, you might drop by and see that. It's out south of Davis. Anyway, they did have their Chamber of Commerce meeting out there, and Ron Armitage, our Economic Development Task Force Director, was there. He did tell them about the meeting that we will be having here on the 30th, that's Monday, that with the Lake Country and Counties Association, this will be their quarterly meeting, will be held right here in Murray County. They will be here on the 29th, though. They've got a little scheduled outing over at the Arbuckle Wilderness. It will start at 5 o'clock. They're going to have a hamburger cookout over there, and then they will be touring the Arbuckle Wilderness, also any other area in the around here in Murray County they want to go to. Understand they will be touring Turner Falls. The meeting starts at 9 o'clock now on Monday morning over at Chickasaw Motor Inn, and the public is welcome to attend that, but it will be their quarterly meeting, and there should be a lot of good things come out of that. Well, Doug West now will be going to trial on the 30th day of this month. As you know, it's been rescheduled several times. Doug is charged now with the shooting of Alan Lee Mercer. That was back on January the 29th. Alan Lee was 21 years of age from Davis. He has been denied bond 3 times, Mr. West has. The Oklahoma Criminal Appeals Court was the last one. Tim Colbert refused his bond, Bob Highsmith, and then also Judge John Skaggs, and they did take it to the Oklahoma Court of Criminal Appeal where it was refused again. His attorney, Mark Martin, did request change of venue, and that was denied. So he did ask for a little additional time. The judge did give him from the 29th day of June until the 30th day of July for the trial to start. And from what I understand, the jury list has already been mailed out, so we'll be watching that come Monday morning. Folks, we asked Joe Freeman to come by. As you know, Joe is the county candidate for the court clerk's job right here. We wanted everybody here in Murray County to meet her. She come by and give us a real nice interview, and we'll show you that right after this commercial message.
For everyday low discount prices, see Jim's Discount Foods west of Sulphur. At Jim's Discount Foods, we strive every day to be courteous and make your food dollar stretch further. We're extremely proud of our meat market and all of the services it offers. If you've never shopped with us before, stop by and check our prices. We think you'll be glad you did. At Jim's Discount Foods, we've got the team experience to make your shopping pleasant. Jim's Discount Foods west of Sulphur, home of quality meats.
Count on Showtime this summer for blockbuster entertainment with 53 wild and crazy parents, 101 dynamic duos, 31 smooches from pooches, 74 classic tunes, and 1,341 punchlines. Exclusive movies like Parenthood, When Harry Met Sally, Turner and Hooch, plus the blockbuster hit Who Framed Roger Rabbit, comedy, family, boxing, music, and plenty of basic ingredients. For countless hours of exclusive entertainment, order Showtime today.
City Drug, your Value Right pharmacy, continues to be your hometown drugstore. When it comes to your health, we're here to offer help in finding the products you need. Our computerized service helps process prescriptions faster and better than ever. Other products include cosmetics like Max Factor, Coty, and our new line of Physicians Formula Cosmetics. From greeting cards to our old-time fountain service, you'll find out what a hometown drugstore is all about. Good health to you from City Drug in Davis.
The primary election is scheduled now for August the 28th, and the polls will open at 7 a.m. and close at 7 p.m. The last day that you can register is August the 17th. The last day for absentee ballots will be on August the 22nd, 5 o'clock that afternoon. Wanda McBee, the Secretary for the Murray County Election Board, has set up a registering booth out at Walmart. It will be open tomorrow now from about 9 a.m. until 4:30, and if you have not registered and you have been having trouble getting down to the courthouse to register, Wanda will be set up out at Walmart in the morning and in the afternoon trying to get everybody that possibly can registered, and that'll make it easier on you if you've been working through the week. Anyway, we did ask Joe to drop by and visit with us so everybody could meet her, so let's watch that now. Joe, let me welcome you to Channel 7.
Thank you, DJ. Good morning.
Glad you could drop by and visit with us just a little bit. I thought it might be nice if we could ask again and let people meet you. I know you're well known here in Sulphur, but maybe some of the folks in Davis don't know you, and we might bring them up to date a little bit on who you are and how long you've been married to Mr. Gary and things of that nature.
Okay.
When did you marry Gary Freeman?
We got married in 1970.
1970.
Mm-hmm.
Gary was working at the bank then, wasn't he?
No, he was in school at Stillwater.
Oh, okay, still in Stillwater?
Yeah. He was finishing up his last semester there.
Okay, he and Jimmy was going, both of them were going. And Cody was going with him, wasn't he?
No, he went to another school
Did
in
he?
Texas somewhere. He wasn't up there.
Well, now, what were you doing then when you and Gary married?
When Gary and I married, I was a beautician. I worked as a beauty operator for several years. When we married and came back to Sulphur after he graduated, I had a beauty shop in my home and worked there for several years.
So after you graduated from high school here in Sulphur, you went to college for a little bit, didn't
I
you?
went to school at Edmond, Central State for a year,
Okay.
and then I started working in a beauty shop.
But you still had to go to beautician school. Where'd you go?
I went the first year that they had the Votech Center open down at Ardmore. I was a junior in high school, and I was one of the first students. First year that they opened.
So you were actually a high school lady when you were going to beautician school.
Yeah, and
Well,
then I
that's
finished
great.
up that summer and started working while I was still in school.
Well, what did you study in college, and what were you going to try to major in there?
Major?
Or was it even wasn't on your mind?
I thought about art major, but that didn't last but about a year. But I thought about an art major, and I guess if I had pursued it all the way through, it'd been in art.
Yeah, okay. Okay, then after you and Gary got married, you were real estate for a little while, weren't
I
you?
got into real estate, and I've kept my license current, and I've
Good.
done a little bit of real estate. And in between the time that I got my real estate license, I had 2 children, so that kind of slowed
Yeah,
that
for a while.
process down. Yeah, you had to take care of them first.
Well, now, Joe,
And they're currently in school in Sulphur.
Both of them?
Lori's in high school, and Andy's in middle school.
Oh, good. Now, the real estate, you also have to go to school for that. You got to take a state test, so you've been to more schooling, haven't you?
Yeah, that was 16 years ago when I got my real estate license, but every 3 years you have to take some continuing education classes and keep your license current.
I understand that the initial real estate license are pretty hard to come by, aren't
It's
they?
pretty tough test.
Yeah.
You have to
A lot of people flunk
really
out
work
on that
hard
thing.
to get that. Yeah. I'm proud of it. I really
Well, you should be. That's an accomplishment. Because I know of quite a few folks that haven't made it yet, and they're still trying to go back and complete
it's
that
tough
thing.
task.
Well, now that brings you up to now, and you're working with Dr. Franklin, aren't you now?
I've worked for Dr. Franklin for 6 years,
Good.
and he's a wonderful employer.
I bet he is.
I work 3 days a week for him, and we have a good working relationship.
As a
Dental assistant.
dental assistant, okay. Well, now, did you have to go to school for that?
No, I was lucky that I worked for Dr. Harris before I worked for Dr. Franklin, and I had both of them to train me and help me through this. There's a lot of courses that you have to go to while you're in the dental field. You have to become licensed to take radiographs, x-rays. You have to be licensed to do polishing, cleaning on teeth.
Are those licenses got to be updated each year, too? Renewed?
No.
Just
You
one
just have
time.
to keep working to keep them
Well,
current.
you know, Joe, the medical field, for instance, changes so much now that doctors have to read and study constantly to keep up with all of it. And I imagine the dentistry the same way, isn't it?
Yeah, they do. There's a lot of things that change, but it changes daily, so you can keep up with that daily.
Well, that's good. But you had a pretty active life, and now you're running for a county office, and if you win that, it's going to be continued active, isn't it?
I hope so. I like to work hard.
Well, that's good.
Anybody that knows me will tell you that I don't mind hard work, and I like to see results from what I do. I don't like to just do a lot of hard, maybe not working, and have no results for it. I want to see something that I've accomplished. So
Well, that'd be
I'm not worried about the job or tackling the task of doing the work because I know I can do it. I'm confident in that area.
And you probably would enjoy that type of work, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think I will. I like to talk to people, like to meet people, and I have a lot of energy. I like to spend my time doing something that's worthwhile. And
You know, that's an asset for you then, if you enjoy people and love people, because there's a lot of folks pray to
oh yeah, and I know so many people here. You know, it's easy when you go to county and you see everyone you know. It's nice to live in a town where you recognize people and they recognize you.
Were you actually born here in Sulphur?
Yeah.
Okay, born and raised and went to school and the whole 9 yards then.
My dad is Leon Wood. My mother's Bernice Kirby.
Yeah.
And they were both raised around here. And so I've got lots of friends and relatives.
And Gary's a hometown boy from out north of town, so.
Well, yeah, he's lived here a long time. He's
Yeah.
a transplant from Texas, but he's lived
Well, we accepted him, though. It's been so long now, we got to claim him.
Yeah.
Texas wouldn't take him back.
No, they won't. They won't keep him.
Well, Joe, I appreciate you coming by, and we wish you all the luck in the world on this election.
Thank you, BJ.
Thank you
I
now.
appreciate you for having me.
All right. Joe Freeman, she is a candidate now for Murray County Court Clerk, and we appreciate Joe for coming by and visiting with us. We are having a little technical difficulties right now, folks. Our signal's going on and off. We do have technicians out in the field at the present time working on it. I'm sure it will be restored back to its regular high quality in just a few minutes. If you do miss part of this newscast, though, watch it this afternoon at 6:30. Folks, we asked Jim Humes to come in. If you'll remember, Jim was the Chickasaw Indian Nation Chief of Staff for quite a while. Well, Jim retired from that job, but he just can't stay idle. He's going to run for the legislature of the Chickasaw Indian Nation. We asked Jim to come by and just visit with us, update us on several things. He come by and visited with us, so we're going to try to show you a portion of that interview right after this commercial message.